از همه رنگه. بیا اینجا رو تماشا کن، بیا اینجا رو ببین، شهر فرنگه. اینجا رو ببین که شهر نیویورکه، اینجا رو ببین که تیتر پر د نوستیه. بیا اینجا رو تماشا کن، بیا عباس رو ببین، بیا غربیا رو ببین. بیا come. We'll show you the cities of the east, we'll show you the cities of the west. Come. And here is the Eiffel Tower, and here is the Washington Monument. Come, شهر فرنگه. بیا باربارا رو ببین، بیا آقای بوش رو ببین. Come. We'll show you the cities, we'll show you the people. Come. We'll show you the events. And here is Abbas. His arms are sliced up, and he's still fighting, and he still fights on. Here is the golden maid in the putrid harbor. Give me your poor, you're tired, your rigid refuse, yearning to be free, your rigid refuse from your teeming shore. Send me. Everyone knows that there is a problem with where to put the garbage in New York City. زردی من از تو، سرخی تو از من، سرخی تو از من، زردی من از تو. Give me your red, I'll give you my yellow. Give me your red, I'll give you my yellow. Christian fire ritual is splitting of the fire. Here is the gift of light. Take it. Go ahead. Come on, you don't have to pay for it. But thank you. Somebody help me at least. That's for the president. Pass it along to your cabinet members, please. And here's a gift of light for the garden. Pass it along to your priests, please. Here is the gift of light for Tarzan. Pass it along to your delegates from the jungle. And to all the rest of you, may each have a light to himself in his own home. May we all have 1,000 points of light for another 4 years. Between the Tigris and Euphrates, oh, fertile crescent, oh, Dajle, oh, Farad, the dawn of mankind, the cradle of civilization, there, where we all rock, there, where we were all cradled in the warm damp of its green fertility. ناله شبیه این گیتار محزون اشک هزاران To the eyes of a little boy, Tigris is just like a gigantic ocean. And even though I was born in Iran, my father, who had business in Iraq, would take me there. They even said that he had a woman there in Iraq, but we never knew that for certain. And it was in the Tigris that I learned to swim. The other side was so far. What happened to my candles? Oh, pass it back. Thank you. Oh, and my hat too. May I have the other candle? Thank you. We had tea alongside Tigris. At that time, I did not even know that this was the cradle of civilization. A man had just caught a fresh fish. We cooked the fish on a tripod and ate the gigantic fish. Then it was time to learn to swim. So my father put his hand like this, and I was laying on them as he showed me how to paddle. And I paddled, and I paddled, and I paddled, and I paddled, and I paddled seriously. I paddled. That first time, I almost drowned in the cradle of civilization. For a long time after that, I would not set foot in the water. اینجا رو تماشا کن شهر فرنگه بیا اینجا رو ببین بیا تانکا رو ببین بیا پرچم آمریکا رو ببین که هنوز نسوخته بیا اینجا رو تماشا کن We'll show you the cities, we'll show you the events, we'll show you the cities, we'll show you the cruises. The way the crusade began. Now I've got to know what it is and is it found. If you receive my letter. Peter the Hermit, while in pilgrimage to Jerusalem, saw great horror. And his soul was stirred by the horrors he witnessed in the pollution of the holy places by the Muslim host that controlled Jerusalem, and the cruel oppression of the native Christians and the pilgrims of the distant land. Come on, Chabot, we're going to go on a crusade. Do something. The Christian patriarch, when appealed to by Peter, could only lament his own powerlessness and his dread of Morsi's soul, unless their brothers in the West sent them aid. At his entreaty, Peter promised to rouse the princes of Europe to a sense of the sad condition of the holy places. Then he left the patriarch's presence to spend the night in vigil at our Savior's tomb. Weary with watching, at length he fell asleep. As he slumbered, Christ appeared to him in a vision and bade him hasten home to accomplish his task. Come on, Johnny, we've got to go accomplish our task now. And rouse the faithful to a cleansing of the holy places. For through danger and trial of every kind shall the elect now enter the gates of paradise. And Pope Urban, when he heard the story tale, was moved. And his voice went up among the faithful. Valiant knights, descendants of unconquered sires, remember the vigor of your forefathers and do not degenerate from your noble stock. And as with one voice, the noble host chanted, there is hope, there is hope, there is hope. Therefore, I tell you, it's God who has inspired you with his voice. So let the Lord's motto be your battle cry, and when you go forth to meet the enemy, this shall be your watchword. There is hope, there is hope, there is hope. Then there's my own crusade. Women, Eastern men, have a thing about conquering American blonde women. We do. Ask every one of us. Come on, Kevin, you gotta go conquer women now. Hey, Jane! Jane, wait! Jane, wait! I'm coming! I'm coming! I'm coming! I'm coming! Coming! At the time I was 17, I remember writing poems about women with blonde hair and blue eyes. I didn't know anybody who had blonde hair or blue eyes, but you all know about Shah's policy of westernization. He had many films brought from America and Europe to Iran. And my earliest memories from that was Sam Jane, thank you. You remember what color Jane's hair was?
Brown.
It wasn't brown. That is wrong. It was not brown, I'll show you. Jane's hair was blonde. There she was, in a deep, dark jungle of Africa. There she was with her voluptuous, silky, blonde hair. Lawrence of Arabia. Another movie that Shah brought in. You have such fair skin. Send her in. Blonde women are the most gorgeous people on earth. Jane had blonde hair, blue eyes, and Jane was so sexy because her skirt was torn, her shirt was half torn, and her mouth was always half open. Her hair, long. There's Carter. He's captured by the Africans and they're about to put him to death. They have caught him, they've tied him to this tree, and they're just about to kill him. In the nick of time, who saves his life? Jane. She comes slowly, voluptuously, blondely, and with the little nail file that she always carried, she cuts the rope loose. So Tarzan can save the day. And Tarzan was strong. He'll pick Jane up with one arm, putting one arm around her waist, holding the rope with another, flying from one end of the jungle to another. And when he let go, Jane would slide down the road. More often than not, I'd masturbate after the movie. East is eastern, west is western, never the trend shall be. The earth and sky stand presently at God's great judgment seat. For there is neither east nor west, border nor breed nor birth. When two strong men stand face to face, though they come from the ends of the earth. If he dares cross that border and come down here, I'm gonna kick his ass. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu. It is Bush, the Satan, that has initiated this war. On one side, there is God leading, and on the other side, there is the devil leading. This is a just war when good is gonna prevail. We're gonna go home alive and with a big victory under our belt. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu. We will make him sorry he never came down here. We will bury the American Satan. Your mother eats camel shit. Ya ayyuhallazina zalimin. Take up your McDonald's and shove it up your ass. La ilaha illallah. Allah. Blessed be the English and all they make and go. Cursed be the infidels, the heretics and Turks. Blessed be the English and all that they profess. Cursed be the savage that trans in nakedness. Blessed be the English and all they may could do. Cursed be the infidels that doubt that this is true. And I did come to America to find my Jane, to conquer her and be saved by her, infidel that I was. But first, I had to pay my dues. A cab driver, I conquered the streets of New York. Perhaps that's why 95% of New York cab drivers are foreigners. They have all come here looking for their Jane. You get to know every pothole by name. You'll be flying from one end of the street to another with your cargo of blonde Janes in their mini coats. Let's make it start for you. In Iran, I was a film actor. My theater career in America began at the Mule-Bound Theater, at the point where Nebraska, Iowa, and Missouri meet. They were doing a wonderful season of theater, American theater. Sit down, John. Sit down, John. For God's sake, John, sit down. 1776. Nobody's gonna rain on my parade. Funny girl. My boy Ben will be tall and as tough as a tree. Well then, carousel. And tea, for two, and two, for tea, for you, and you, for me. We make your family, a boy for you, a girl for me. No, Nanette. No, Nanette. And one serious thing, salute, about an American family, a father, a mother, and 2 children. Oh, they have problems. I was the assistant stage manager. I could barely speak English. I was so fascinated. I wanted to leave and go back home immediately. You know, Tokyo College was actually the one that sponsored Mule-Bound Theater. Has anybody heard of Tokyo College? No? Come on, it was in the news recently. They just closed it down because it admitted too many foreigners. Not those days, though. Those days, I was the only foreigner. And I went to the student cafeteria with my first American Jane, Paula. Paula! And it was the morning after breakfast. I was sitting on one side of the booth and she on the other. Suddenly, in comes this big football player. Apparently, he was her ex-boyfriend. How did I know? He comes in, says something to her in English. I didn't understand. My English was really bad. Then he pushed her aside and sat right next to me. So I got up, picked him up, and punched him right in the face. And he went flying down the dining table. We Middle Eastern and men are such heathen beasts, aren't we? Well, don't answer that. Anyway, he went over the table and onto the ground, and I leaped right on his head, and with the little English did at my command, I said, "Permission first, sit next." Even then I had conquered. بیا اینجا رو تماشا کن شهر فرنگه، بیا تانکا رو ببین، بیا استلت آمر رو ببین، بیا اینجا رو تماشا کن. Remember this? You don't? This is the one that you could program so it would open the door, go into the john, and flush the toilet. Boom! Eventually I conquered all over America. It was my own golf hole, Operation Cross Country store. This other Jane and I, Ellen, we were walking down the streets of Laramie, Wyoming, cowboy country. And I had my heart set at a cowboy hat. So we're walking down the streets of Laramie, and these two cowboys walk out from on either side. And one of them puts his gun right on my head. "You're under arrest." "Why? What did we do?" "You're not dressed in style." "Oh, what are you going to do to us? Throw you in jail? Hang you maybe?" Then they led us down to this shack, which was marked a Dead Tree Saloon. They put us behind bars, took pictures of us, with a noose around my neck, lying in a coffin. They had such a good time. They told us that this is the annual Jubilee Day in Laramie, and we are their honorary foreigners. So we said, "Where are you coming from, foreigner?" "Iran." "You are an Iranian!" "Oh, shit!" "Hey, Hank, we got us arrested!" They did take me hostage. Shot more pictures of me in my new cowboy hat that he bought for me, drinking the quart of Courvoisier, which he bought for me. He said, "Courvoisier!" And they didn't have any. So he went from one store to another until he found water. You know, being a hostage in Laramie is really not that bad. They shot more pictures of me shooting at him as he was trying to carry off my chain on his shoulder. Bang, bang, bang! And the headline in the morning paper, the Laramie Boomerang, read, "Iranian hostage." And all the wire services all over America took up the news, and then they put us in a hotel for the night. I had to conquer. بیا اینجا رو تماشا کن شهر فرنگه، بیا کامیون رو ببین که اون یکی رو میکشه، بیا اینجا رو تماشا کن. We'll show you the cities, we'll show you the events, we'll show you the people, we'll show you the crusade. France were about to give up the battle for Jerusalem when far away on the Mount of Olives, a Christian knight appeared, waving his sword in triumph. It was a sign that the city has been captured. Who this knight was, says Raymond of Guinness, ever ready to believe in a miracle, we could never find out. But his meaning was understood at once. And the French soldiery returned to assault with renewed vigor. Ha! 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 Jerusalem had at last been taken and was to fare as captured cities only too often did in medieval war. The words of an eyewitness paints the horrors of the day in general terms, without any attempt at detail.
Walls and towers, there were things wondrous to be seen. For some of the enemy were reft of their heads. Some others, riddled through with arrows, were forced to leap down from the top walls. Still others, after long torture, were burned in the flames. In all the streets and squares, there were piles of heads and hands and feet. And in the public way, foot and horses alike made passage over the bodies of the dead.
Weary of the slaughter, the Christians at length turned their thoughts to more sacred things and went in tearful procession to the holy sepulchre. Meanwhile, back in the Operation Cross Country store, I was making inroads, countries all over America. It was my own golf. Everything's a talks. This other Jane and I, Ellen, we went to this restaurant in California. There was a big sign saying no Iranians allowed. It was the time of hostages, and there were signs like this all over the country. So we saw the sign, and I turned back to her and I said, honey, we are having lunch here. And she said, oh God, for Christ's sake, can't we not eat in peace at least once? I said, honey, I am having lunch here. Would you care to join me? We went in, sat down, ordered the meal, dessert and coffee. Main course was brought. We ate it. Then I called the waitress over and asked her if she would please tell me what the sign says. So she said, oh, don't worry about it. The sign has got nothing to do with you. I insisted in knowing what the sign says. So she says, the sign says no Iranians allowed. We don't let Iranians eat here. So I turned to my girlfriend and said, honey, I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to be here. Let's go. And as we were walking out, the waitress asked me to pay for the food. I said, I'm sorry. I can't pay for the food. I haven't had my dessert or my coffee. How do you expect me to pay for an incomplete meal? I'm not even supposed to be here. She said, didn't you see the sign as you walked in here? Didn't you read the sign? I said, my dear, as you well know, we Iranians are a bunch of illiterate barbarians. We don't read. But you read the menu! Of course. I was hungry. I had to find something to eat. I had to read the menu. So she got really upset. Ran out and got the manager, who came in and demanded that I pay the bill and get the hell out. I said very politely, sir, I'll be happy to pay the bill and get the hell out after I have finished my lunch. But you just finished your lunch! I would very much like a slice of apple pie and a cup of American coffee. And I sat down. He told the waitress to bring us a slice of pie and a cup of coffee. And he sat right there across from me, watching me like a hawk. I took my sweet time, eating my pie and having it too. And then I had Then I asked for a refill, which I drank slowly. I asked for another refill, which I drank even slower, all the while talking to my girlfriend and watching the manager, who by this time had finished a whole pack of camels. He was so mad, he had slit my throat. Then we got up, I paid the bill, 25% tip, more than we used to. And as I was walking out, I turned to him and I said, "You see, my friend, there comes a time in every man's life that they are forced to choose between their political beliefs and their economic interests." I had conquered.
Just remember, darling, all the while you belong to me. See the marketplace in old Algiers. Send me photographs and still.
Kitchener, Lord Herbert, former governor of India. Lovely place. In fact, I'll do anything rather than to return to England. Do that. Damn bone-chilling mist all the time. And following my stunning success with the niggers in India, the British Crown has commandeered my services for the Middle East, Hijaz, Mesopotamia, and all that. Kind of sad, anyway. Oh, and a whole slew of niggers. Other niggers. Arab niggers. The Rus and Mohammedan niggers. Great civilization, of course. But that was centuries and centuries ago. Let it all go to pot, they did. Why, they can't even govern themselves. Well, you probably want to know the chief distinguishing characteristics of the indigenous population. Oh, you do? Well, here are the basics. The Turk, cruel, massacre Christians without a second thought, lazy, evil, a degenerate race. We'll have to dismantle their empire. The Arab, a degenerate race. Lazy, no discipline, can't get them to do anything, live in tents and defecate in holes. We'll have to put their shop in order. The Jew, unspeakable. The power behind both the Turkish government and the German. Lazy, manipulative, cannot be known. A degenerate race. We must win them all. The Persian, sometimes known as Iranians, a degenerate race, otherwise like the Turk and the Arab. Now, with World War I over, it's high time for the dismantling of the Ottoman Empire. We have been standing by watching it crumble long enough. Here we are at the League of Nations, and I think we'll just administer the good old coup de grace. Allow me. How do you do? Hello. Good. What do you do? Oh, I see a spot of tea. That would be just the thing. Scared? Jenny? That would be just the thing. Civilization. Chérie, bonjour, bonsoir, Mahmoud ne marche pas comme s'il vous plaît. Bonjour, Dieu, qu'est-ce que c'est pas vrai, qu'est-ce que c'est? Oh voilà, Mahmoud ne marche pas comme s'il vous plaît. Civilization. Oh. Well, see here. I'll say it's high time for the dismantling of the Ottoman Empire. That way we can address more important matters. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll make sure you get Syria. That has been your stomping ground historically. But we really must have Mesopotamia, Hijaz, Transjordan. Egypt we already have, more trouble than it's worth, I must say. Arabia, Kuwait, that's about it. Pile of sand, anyway. Never liked camels myself. Who do you think you are? You monster! Historically, it's all off. Now, I'd say let's be reasonable. Ask the Arabs what they want. We bloody well have. What did they say? They are not responsible. Well, if you must know, they want total freedom. But that's their twaddle and poppycock. Das ist unsere Tusra. Look who is here. If it isn't the poor Kaiser, a little down in the dump ugly. Oh, Tullimba, you've reduced me to sauerbraten. Now, back at the castle. Here we have the news. As for the jaws, I'd say we just have to use chemical warfare. Oh, Tullimba, widgets? Well, poison gas, you silly crowd. But is it civilized? After all, there are women and children there too. I see no reason why we shouldn't use any weapons necessary against the savage tribes. Unquote, Winston Churchill. Really? Oh, yes. So, now there. Now, here we have the minutes. And I'd say we'll just chop up the area into smaller sections. Like, this will be out. This is mine, this is not, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine, this is this part, this is, no, this is mine, this is this. Oh, you look, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine, mine, this is mine, take this back, take this back, oh, mine. Well, Europe was too small for the England, Germany, and France. That's why they had to go to the Middle East. And eventually, America became too small for me. So I had to take my campaign to Europe. Operation Overseas Storm. You see, Bush was right. You really can't give this Middle Eastern men 1 inch. Because if you do, you can never stop them. They'll take a whole mile. Of course, that was before Europe was united and there were still countries with borders. I was going across Germany, from Germany to France. On the border, I had gotten my exit visa from Germany, and the border general in France did not accept my French visa. Therefore, he wouldn't let me into the country. So I was stuck in a 50 feet of no man's land. It was a piece of real estate the size of Kuwait. And I claimed that piece of land as mine. Saddle Road and claimed this as Mahmood's kingdom. I was the new Shah. All the cars that passed by had to give me food and wine for toll tax. Blonde French and German women had to smile at me and blow kisses at me before I let them go to my kingdom. A busload of blonde Swiss Janes came into my kingdom, piled out of their sightseeing bus and sat with me all night long. We drank wine and sang songs. La 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 la. These are a few of my favorite things. I have conquered.
Mahmood, my son, so you have been with other girls, so I must smell your mouth. You were with other girls. Oh, Mahmood, no one understands you, my son. You have a heart as clear as a mirror, and I love you so much. You have a lot of love inside you. Someday, one of these women will understand the kind of gem you were. Oh, Mahmood, it doesn't matter who you're with, as long as you're happy. She could be American, she could be Iranian, she could be French, she could be German, she could be Swiss, for all I care. She could be black, white, blonde, as long as she's honest and she loves you. You say you don't want any children, but when you grow older, you'll have something left of you. Something that people can remember you by. Oh, Mahmood, think of it this way. What happened to your father? He's gone. I'll be gone too. You have to get yourself together, my son. You have to find someone who will appreciate you and settle down. Children are the future, my son. Children. In the Middle Ages, famine was spreading all over Europe. Poor children were gathered from everywhere to be sent to the crusade, to be martyred for Christ. They all perished before they ever got to Jerusalem. The United States government still has not published figures as to how many Iraqi and Kuwaiti children died in the Gulf War, and how many are still dying or are disabled as a result of that war. During the Iran-Iraq War, children from both sides were gathered to be sent to the front. There was not enough food to feed them anyway. They were sent ahead of the troops, so if there were any landmine laid on the battlefield, the children would step on them and not hit them. It is far better for a child to blow up than a tank.